Hello and welcome to the Supercast. I'm your host, Superintendent Anthony Godfrey. It is one of the highest and most prestigious honors given each year, recognizing school districts who are transforming education through the use of cutting-edge technology like artificial intelligence in the classroom. Competing against school districts from all corners of the world, Jordan School District was a top 2024 winner in the International Society for Technology in Education, or ISTE Awards. On this episode of the Supercast, we talk to members of the digital learning team helping Jordan be a changemaker, shaping the future of education with the proactive and innovative use of technology. We're here at the Salt Palace today on the last day of the USET conference to talk with a couple of the participants from Jordan School District. And when I say participants, they were a serious part of what's happening here and will be going into the future. So introduce yourselves and talk a little bit about your role here at USET.
Okay, so hi everybody, my name is Kira Bettis. I'm on the digital teaching and learning team, and I'm also on the USET board. And what Dr. Godfrey was hinting at, going forward, I'm going to be the USET president. So next year's conference, I'll be heavily involved in. And this year's conference, I obviously worked with the board to help organize everything and to see this fine event as you have now experienced.
Yes, I've experienced it for a couple of years in a row now, and it really is fabulous. And I love the number of Jordan School District teachers and coaches and district personnel that I run into in the hallway. We have really good representation.
Yeah, it's almost like a family reunion, because like every corner you turn, you're like, it's someone else from my district, and it's amazing. And speaking of people in our district, our other guests today.
Krista.
I'm Krista Gibbons. I'm a teacher and a coach, and this is my first year I came and actually presented. So I always love coming to USET and all the wonderful things you learn here. But I braved out this time, and I decided to do a presentation on coaching.
Tell everyone what your role looks like in Jordan School District before we talk more about what you did here at the conference.
Yeah, for sure. So I am a virtual middle school teacher at the new JVLA Academy. So I work with a lot of students in the online virtual environment, which is tons of fun. And then I'm also a coach at my school and digital specialist at my school.
And I heard you packed them in today at your presentation. Tell me about that.
I did. It was actually very surprising for me. I thought I was going to be in a small room with a couple of people, and then all of a sudden it was a huge room. I had around 100 plus people that were in there, which is amazing to realize how important coaching is and how it is a field you can rely on others. So that was fun. But yeah, it was a packed house. Made me a little nervous to start out the day. I can take a auditorium filled with teenage middle schoolers, but adults kind of creep me out just a little bit. Makes me a little nervous.
Well, there are lots of adults who would be terrified of speaking in front of middle school students. So you have a great range of skills to be able to present to both. Tell me about some of the points about coaching that you made today, because some people may not fully understand the importance of coaches and the role of coaches.
So, coach is just being, on a team where you watch and you help and you observe and help them find their strengths and then build on those strengths. And so being a coach is just being that extra support for teachers. And my presentation was on coaching smarter, not harder, and using all the tools you have at your disposal in Google Suites and other tools that our district provides us, and just really using those to your advantage to make it a great experience for you as a coach and also for teachers, and helping the teachers realize they can succeed and that when things get difficult, they can fall back on a toolkit that they already have and just rebuild from there. And so that was kind of my main focus points.
Fantastic. I'm really glad to have you in that role, and I'm really glad that we have Kelsey Peak in place. I've been so thrilled to see how the virtual schools have thrived. Of course, enrollment goes up and down as people have needs throughout the year even, but we've started to see what the pattern is, and it's just such an important option for students to have the ability to learn online when they need to. For some, it works best for them all the time, and some find themselves in particular circumstances that allow them to learn best virtually.
Yep, it's really an exciting thing to be a part of.
Now, Kira, tell us a little bit more about USET. You've been on the board.
Yeah.
How long have you been on the board? And I'll just tell people, we are here talking with you on the cusp of your presidency because your rule and your reign will begin shortly because this conference is just about over, which means that your role as president will kick in.
Yes.
Tell us about USET for those who don't know what it is. What's it focused on? How long has it been going? And what do you hope for the future as president?
Yeah. Okay, so, long story short, USET has been around for forever, it feels like. Probably not forever, but way before I became a part of it. I started getting involved with USET, I want to say like 2017, 2018 is when I started attending the conference, and I was like, where has this been all my life? And because I loved the conference so much, I, like Krista's, started putting in some sessions, and then I was like, how can I get more involved? And then I ran for the board, and then I ran for the board again. And I always make the joke that I was like, third time's the charm. And it was, because it was the third time that I ran that I got on the board. The board is an amazing support group. And it's not all me. I keep saying that because people have been reminding me all throughout the conference this past 2 days. They're like, it's your turn next. And I was like, yes, it is. But it's not just me. It's the board we have about 22 people on the board. And together with everybody else, we make magic happen. So
it's fantastic, and I know you're going to do a great job.
Well, thank you.
Tell everyone what does USET stand for,
yes.
and what is it really focused on?
Yeah, thank you for reminding me. So USET stands for the Utah Coalition for Educational Technology, and we're an educational nonprofit, so we're not like a business or anything. We're just a volunteer group of educators who come together to help celebrate and focus on the effective use of educational technology in the state of Utah. So not only what's the latest and greatest, but how can we use these tools in the best ways possible for our students? And so on our board, we have representatives from across the whole state. So we have rural schools represented, we have a virtual school representative, we have people from the state board as well as different districts across the state, all together for that common purpose of how can we help technology be a better part of the learning process.
And it's really exciting to see those who are more on the instructional side, some who are more on the technology end of things, coming together. And like you said, from the state, from small districts, from large districts. And I'm really proud of the level of representation from Jordan. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, we sometimes joke that it's kind of the Jordan show on the USET board, just because we have so many people, and I say so many, there's like 3 or 4 of us on the board currently. Every year there's elections and 4 new people get voted on. But having, I think, Jordan being a part of those conversations of like how can we share best practices, how can we highlight what's going on across the state, I think is really important. And it also is a moment to kind of toot our horn as Jordan District. We're saying like, look at what we're doing. This is awesome. Like, we also want to like share the spotlight with other people, but like every chance I get, I'm looking at, hey, look at what Jordan's doing. Look at our teachers, and we're all doing it for the kids, which is the real focus.
We do have an incredible group of educators who really are focused on providing the best access to technology and the best instruction that is enhanced through technology for our students, with that purpose of having better learning outcomes and more exciting experiences for our students.
Yeah. Well, and Krista, like with your situation being in an all virtual school, I think you in your school, or more than anybody, can speak to this, right? It's not about the tool, it's about how you use it in the instruction.
Oh no, that really is, because you can have a Nearpod or you can have like a Canva site set up, but it's all about helping the students not become consumers, but creators. And that's like the big shift you have to make with technology, because it's easy to consume. Kids sit on TikTok and Vines all day and can consume hours of material, but they never create. And so that's what I love about USET as well, especially in our district, that creative, inventive initiative we have as a district, that we're encouraged to be brave and try new things and to do things that help the kids learn better. So that's also fantastic.
We do work hard to create that environment, and folks like the two of you are the ones who really make that possible for the teachers that you work with, because you provide the pathway forward, they're interested, they're curious, and you give them the tools they need to make that possible. Stay with us when we come back. More with the Jordan School District Digital Learning Team.
Are you looking for a job right now? Looking to work in a fun and supportive environment with great pay and a rewarding career? Jordan School District is hiring. We're currently filling full and part-time positions. You can work and make a difference in young lives and education as a classroom assistant or a substitute teacher. Apply to work in one of our school cafeterias, where our lunch staff serves up big smiles with great food every day. We're also looking to hire custodians and bus drivers. In Jordan School District, we like to say, people come for the job and enjoy the adventure. Apply today at employment.jordandistrict.org.
I think it's important what you said about the tool. It's a tool for connecting more effectively with a teacher. That's really what it means. And some people might think that, for example, at our virtual academy, the schools that make that up, maybe there's less contact with a teacher. I would suggest there's way more. And there's a lot of individualization, and there's a really deep connection, just because a lot of the things that are associated with a brick and mortar classroom are kind of pared back, and you can really focus on that connection with the student, really focus on those learning outcomes, and it's really exciting to see.
It really is, and like you said, the tool that allows you to do that. Like I've done things I would have never dreamed about doing in a brick and mortar, especially with giving voice to students. They've created their own podcasts on like lesson reviews and things that they can read and share with each other, and it just is such a fun environment.
It's very different from what people might picture virtual learning to look like, because it's not our pandemic side of the road, let's see what's in the trunk sort of learning.
Yeah.
It's very focused on an intentional approach to creating a very unique learning environment that's centered on the individual needs of students in a way that really isn't possible through other methods.
Yep, and I love how it gives our students the voice. I just, answered an email earlier today where I have a student who's in a little bit more of a difficult situation, going in and out of the hospital, and so she created her plan and said, okay, this is what I was able to accomplish, this is what I would like to accomplish, and she created the path, and then I'm just going to support her along it to get the education, which is very different than what you could do in a brick and mortar. I think it makes them more independent and stronger advocates for themselves in a learning environment.
Yeah, you can think about the role of technology in education and instruction. You can talk about virtual learning and how USET helps expand our creativity and think about learning in different ways, but really it comes down to those individual student stories about how they were able to learn in ways that they wouldn't have been able to otherwise. And I'm just really excited. I just saw Jared Covilli walk by. I heard someone call him the mayor of USET, speaking of the Jordan School District participation. So we have the president, new presenter, and the mayor all represented within a few feet of us. And we're here right now at a booth at USET that is set up for us to just walk up, put in the memory card, and record the old podcast. It's pretty exciting to be able to just walk up and do that. So I just love being here. It's a great atmosphere.
Oh, good.
And I'm so thrilled to have the two of you involved the way that you have been. Any other thoughts about technology in education in Jordan School District?
Mostly, I'm just excited about all the creative ways teachers are using technology. I'm excited for all the potential that they have to focus on student learning, personalizing it. I think back to one of our conversations, I think during the summer when you said you want Jordan District to be like the Cheesecake Factory menu instead of In-N-Out,
right.
That has stuck in my brain. Kind of the same approach for USET, right? Like we want to have as many different offerings and pathways and strands and anything for our attendees, our teachers, so that they can get what they need out of this conference and so that they can put into practice all those awesome things like right away in their classroom. And it's exciting to see Krista present this year, and I hope next year and from here on out. So, and before you know it, Krista, you can be USET president too.
Krista, we were here when it was first mentioned.
There we go.
Wow, your path has been set.
No, but I was just gonna adding on to that. It's the tools you get here. What I love about USET is it's the fact that anything you get here, you can immediately go and apply.
Right.
Like, I have learned things today that I'm automatically going to go start putting into my lessons here. And that then also, I think, speaks to our district, that we are an inventive district. We are not stagnant. There's so much conversation with education being stuck in one place, but I love our district for pushing forward and pushing those bounds and being like, we can be better, let's do better.
I love that. Thank you, Krista, for diving in and being willing to be part of what was initially an experiment with
Yep.
Kelsey Peak and is now just an essential part of who we are as a district. And thank you for sharing that with the hundreds of people who attended your event there. Kira, we have long celebrated your move to Jordan School District, and I'm very grateful to have you here and for the impact you have on so many teachers and students.
Well, I love it, and I'm so glad you were able to come to the conference and to record the Supercast on location.
Well, thank you both very much, and we'll look forward to seeing you out there and all the great things that are happening.
Yes, awesome, wonderful, thank you.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of the Supercast. Remember, education is the most important thing you will do today. We'll see you out there.